leadership of the team and how there was a lot of politics, you know, sometimes there was factionalism and all of that. I mean, wasn't that also part of the problem?
That was a small part of the problem. At the end of the day, we are football players, and most of us at that time were professional players. And those were the things for the media. Those were the things outside of football where people would like to create scenes or something. You know, with your brother in a family, you sometimes have fights. You know, even the tongue and the teeth, sometimes they fight. So it's normal. You know, we all come from different backgrounds, and we will not all, you know, get along. And the media wants us, just because we are in camp, they want everybody to like everybody. He was so disciplined, more disciplined than we, because we sometimes we joke, we have fun in training. You know, we take it as, you know, it's all right. When he is in camp, everything changes. The way you see him train is the same way you see him play. He doesn't joke. Even when you're playing 2-on-2 with Abedi and you are on his team, it's two of you, and you lose, you are in trouble. He doesn't want to lose. That was in his nature. So they were used to those things. So a lot of people didn't get it. You know, what turn off your lights. You turn energy to play the game the next day. Some of us took it okay. Some people didn't take it, you know, lightly. They were like, "Wow, he's too controlling." But for me, he was the best captain. And he was so good. Some of you saw him. Some of you young guys, you might have seen him. And you will look, qualify against Gabon. And we were warming up. We went to the dressing room. At the time that we used to show our passports.
Yeah.
The training sessions are more intense than when we play the games. See people kicking people, elbowing people. You go with blood in your mouth. It happened in training. You can't do that to your friend. So when you go there, you forget about friendship. You go there to try to do your job, to be on the squad. Our team, our incentive was for us to go home for our friends to say, "Oh, we saw you on TV, or we heard your name on radio." You know, those days TV wasn't as common as it is today. Most of the commentary will be on radio. But if your friends heard your name, for you that was the pinnacle of your life. You were happy. So you wouldn't go to training and try to, you know, tackle your friend softly so you'll be dropped. No, you go and kick him. You know, so you can't be friends. You are friends, yeah. You can't. Okay to have a normal issue. It happens. It's just that for us Ghanaians, it comes out, so people hear of it. But most teams, they have those things, but it never comes out. You know, if I tell you the reason why Prince Boateng left Germany for Ghana, it was a camp issue. You know, it happened in camp, and he was disciplined, so he had to leave the camp. You can't really judge that because of that. You didn't qualify, you didn't play well. No, those things are there. They're always.
I've gotten to learn about
That was
6-1.
6-1, yeah.
The Bochum disaster.
Yeah. and then the final one I would say for the national team was when we went to South Africa. I mean, meeting Nelson Mandela was the best thing that ever happened to me. He's somebody I was reading about. I remember when I was in university, I was reading some of his books and all that. And then I read a lot of his stories. Then meeting the person, the man himself, shaking my hands. I had goosebumps all over my body. You know,
officiating was very poor.
I can go on and on about. So when we went there, you know, they had Nelson Mandela, we had Abedi Pele. It was great, but that day it was only Nelson Mandela who was there, and we were all starstruck.
Yeah.
And you know, if he had been in that game, only if he had been in that game, I think it would have been a different ball game also.
And that brings us to that jersey for the Black Stars for the very first time. Ghana's former High Commissioner to Serbia, His Excellency Dr. Nyaho is this the him? Awesome presentation, Nyaho Tamaklo. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll do a few more. And then Israel Lai has sent a message. He says, please pass this on to he doesn't need to have.
I wasn't checking them out.
I didn't say anything.
I was just looking at their dressing.
No, but there's nothing wrong if you were checking them out at the time.
At that time. It's amazing that they got off the bus. Every single person on that bus wore the same shirt. Everybody had the same bag. They all wore the same slippers. Some of them had the same sneakers. It was all unbelievable. We haven't seen that. We wore anything we had. You know, if you had, there used to be, we have Puma, Adidas, Bebo. We're technical. Everybody wore anything. But this women's team, unbelievable. And then we saw them. We said, no, we want to see how they train. We went to see. They were wearing jerseys in training. We had never seen that before.
I see.
You know, it never happened to us. This is 96.
I see.
When we went to the Olympics. But we were being sponsored by Adidas, play football. But it gives you motivation. You know, we came out of nothing. I grew up in Zongo in Comty 1. I had nothing. And for me, being an airplane was a privilege. It was a great moment for me to be in an airplane. Let alone wear the Ghana jersey. It was too much. So just imagine if I was dressed from head to toe. Adidas sponsor, we have everything Adidas going on. That would have been incentive, you know. Not that we didn't have that. We had that. But the players didn't have it. The officials did, but the players, we didn't. Officials wearing Adidas. You know, those were our time. I know eventually it changed. And the only player who was close to him was Abedi. Abedi was a little bit ahead of Steven, but Steven was one of the finest Ghana has ever produced. Then I'll put Abedi as a floating striker at number 9. And then my number 10, my number 11, of course, is Mohamed Polo. I think
the dribbling magician.
Yeah, the best player I've ever played with.
Yeah.
Then I'll put Pokunti at number 10.
Okay, so our social media platforms, not too long. This is according to his own opinion. Very, very unbiased. His name is of Temasco, whom I taught. This is from Joe Deggy. Okay, Joe Deggy. Thank you very much for that. There's another one which is complementing your oratory skill again. He didn't put a name to it. I love the level of spoken English, and he was a fantastic defender. Okay, Joe Attoh was such a calm defender. That's another one. I salute Uncle Joe today and always. He and his brother is here on the Joy Sports link with Joe Attoh of the Akoloso. You've told us about the general, but Akoloso we need to know. Okay, this is from Justice in Tema. Tell Joe, refreshing to know, several years after hanging society, how easy was it for you to take that decision to do school?
No, it wasn't easy. Trust me, it was far from easy. Because, during my school days, I would say that I went to school because of my parents. For them, football wasn't a career. Career was you being a doctor, a lawyer, accountant, engineer. That's why they came to Accra. They came from our village to Tema to have kids who have opportunity to go to school, to be better person, boys and a girl, and they wanted us to go to school. So every footballer was a vagabond. You have to be. Those who didn't have sleep, they will buy their time, but an invite to go to FC Cologne in Germany. So back then, President Kufuor was one of my very good friends. He was then the chairman of Kotoko. And anytime we played Kotoko, I played so well. So he hated me for that. But we became friends. So I was torn in between. And may his soul rest in peace, Professor Mills. He was my mentor. So I told these two guys that this is what I have. First, I told Professor Mills, He was then the head of Internal Revenue Service, and he gave me my first job, by the way. So I went to him and said, Prof, this is what I have, and as soon as I started school.
Yeah.
So then I said, opinion. Back then, he had just left the Kotoko chairmanship, but he was home, and I think he was doing his final doctorate at in London. So he had just come back. So I went to the house, and we laughed, talked, and I told him what had happened and what is happening to me. He says, Joe, you have a scholarship to go to America? I said, yes. So you won't play against Hassan Kotogo, you won't play against I said, yes, if I go, I won't play. He says, look, I'll pay for your ticket.
Wow.
And, which he did, and he gave me pocket money to go to the United States.
Yeah.
He later became the president of Ghana. And when he was president, I wasn't here. When President Mills was the president, I wasn't here. Wow, unfortunate of me, right?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
but those two guys advised me to go to school because they told me that after school, I'll have plenty of time to play football.
President Kufuor paid for...
He paid for my ticket and gave me pocket money. The ticket is nothing. The pocket money is the real thing. So when I went to school, I was rich. I had dollars.
Wow.
And most of the Ghanaian guys who were there, they didn't have anything. I had money. It's because of what President Kufuor, back then, that's how we used to call, also gave me money. So I thought, maybe position. You know, I had before they became president.
Wow.
But I thought to myself,
wow.
You know.
Interesting stuff.
Yes, so he and I were talking. Well, we were still. I also wanted to go to school, which satisfied my former football to be at the helm, the Black Stars, and where he is at. And congratulations first to him. My captain, Coach Kwesi Appiah, did a great job. You know, he didn't bring the ultimate, but I thought he did well. He introduced so many that most of us don't even know into the national team. And now CK is taking over. I hope he continues.
I've shared the company of a few of our presidents, you know, and we've stood together for the national salute. Look, it's else.
Amazing. And when Bukad was our coach, Bukad taxed me. Because you know, Ghana Black Stars, when we are playing national, nobody sings. We all stand there and we put our arms in our chest, you know, stone faced and look.
Of Harrisville to Columbus Crew.
Yes. I did.
Great stuff. And I mean, before you come to that, I mean, it must be very heartwarming for you to note that you know, one of our own who played in your department is now, you know, captain of the Jonathan Mensah is now captain of the side.
Yeah, great.
Them together. He's been shot in Germany and here.
Yes. Yes. Right now he's here. He's in Ghana.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and doing well for himself. You know, he played for Leverkusen. So he still has some affiliations with them, and also Sebastian Barnes. The two of them went there. And Barnes right now is coaching the
nickname governor was not missed after all.
You know, that's the advantage of playing for Hartsfield. You get to meet all these ministers because they are all in Accra. You get to know the heads of states, the presidents, to them just because you're a footballer. Right now, I can tell you that I cannot go to President Kufuor's office. Maybe I can. With my name. Yeah. Can just walk into the Flagstaff house.
Yeah.
Just because he's a footballer. Yeah. So we had all those things and on somebody else. I think the pandemic has opened our eyes to so many things, and if lives could be saved by us not playing, then so be it.
Okay.
But it's a double-edged sword. It's very difficult.
Okay. Says, ask him why he begged Abbas Caesar when he lost Tafu Jemfi on August 5, 1990, when he lost 4-2 to Kotoko. Okay. All right. 1-0302216541. We're going to do a lot of magic in these last few minutes of the
change, and it will take time gradually. I think they will put their print on the Ghana football.
Oh my goodness! These are one of the days where you feel you wanted to go to all the way through 2:30, or you know, having your on the show.
Yeah, I want to say to all football fans that we have to be patient. Our lives are more important. The measures that the government has taken or is trying to give us, we should adhere to them. You know, wash your hands, keep your distance. You know, keep your family safe. It's very important these days. Life is so precious. And we have to keep our families close, our friends close, and keep them safe. I think that is the only message I'll give them. Football will come back.